So we leave in Florida. Gonna start filming again. Took a nice little vacation break while we were back in Florida. Now we're going to South Carolina for 3 weeks, but instead of coastal South Carolina, we are doing that interior, kind of the northwest corner, right on the Georgia border. So it should be fun.
Hello circuit riders, long time no see. I hope you've had a great winter. We have been taking a wonderful break here in Florida. We've been here for the past 3.5 months and just soaking up the sunshine. We've hopped around to different thousand trails and different campgrounds and just relaxed. And we went to Disney, we saw some friends. Jason had a few different work events that were down here in Florida this year. My whole family came down to Orlando for Christmas and we had a wonderful family celebration then. So we've had a wonderful time. Now we are going to start heading back north. Like Jason said, we're going to head to South Carolina for 3 weeks. Then we're going to hop to Virginia, Pennsylvania, New England, and then finally back up to our land in Maine. Thanks for joining us. Oh, kitty.
I heard you scream when you opened the little door here. What you got going on? Oh! Down there. Take a look. Let me start rolling this and see if it startles him out.
Well, after a long driving day, we have made it to a harvest host in northern Georgia. We're a few hours from our campground in South Carolina, but we're just stopping up for the night. They've got a food truck and a concert going on here at this brewery in Greensboro. So we're gonna have a little bit of dinner and then hit the hay and keep going tomorrow. Now tomorrow we're going to Carolina Landing Thousand Trails, which if you know anything about Thousand Trails, they are notorious for being a very small, very tight park, and we have avoided them for the past 3 years, but we wanted to try a new area of South Carolina, and we have read some people online that say, you know what, it's not as bad as you think, it's not as bad as you've heard, just come here and check it out. So we're gonna check it out tomorrow, and you can come with us and see how we do parking in Carolina Landing. It's a rainy morning. Because the brewery had that concert last night, their parking lot was full. So before we got here, the owner called us and said, would you please park in the parking lot across the street, which is just, I think, in an empty business parking lot. So we're just here in the back of the lot. We had a good night, but I'm sad that it's raining and cold. I wish I was still in Florida, but we're gonna keep going on our adventure here and head over to Carolina Landing, South Carolina, a couple hours away. Get a picture of your pretty Airstream. Alright, we're turning right here. We're going to go into this pull-through, third side in. It looks very straightforward. Oh, I'm so happy to see that.
These are little little tight and windy.
The roads are older, but they're paved. They're not dirt roads.
Fixture.
And there's a couple trees here, but nothing unusual. All right, do you want me to get out? Or you got it?
All right. Look out the window here. There's a decent chance this is too sloped, so we may want to use our levelers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure. Do you have your keys on you?
Yeah. No.
I got them. Got mine. We probably said this before, but it's nice if we can tell it's going to be unleveled that we check it first in here. And then we can put leveling blocks down under whatever tire needs it. So that's it. I'm not in the right spot now to tell, but right now it's 2.2 side to side. That front to rear will be fixed once we've moved back. So let's see.
Anything over 1.5, we usually have to use levelers.
No, we don't know yet because I'm not back in there.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it does this.
All right. Keep coming. We're discovering that this site is very unlevel, so we're trying to pull the RV back over to the uphill side so that we are not so unlevel. We'll still pull up on the levelers, but the least amount that we can get is safer.
That's because, look, that humps up, so I should try to get the tires in this lower spot.
Yeah, and
here.
then our door will clear this big stump here,
Yeah.
or our stairs.
So if we put the tires kind of there, the door will come out here.
All right.
I'll pull the nose that way just a titch.
Okay.
All right. Give that a shot.
Okay. Go, 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 go. Stop. Oh. You went too far. One more. Stop. And this kind of reminds me of a campground that we stayed at in North Carolina a couple years ago that was very hilly and uneven, and that parking job was way harder than this. This was so easy. Pull through and level it up. So I'm initially hopeful for Carolina Landing. Now, this Thousand Trails Park is famous among RVers for being just really tight, difficult to get into. People, all kinds of people, not only in reviews online, but I've heard people in person say like, "Oh, don't go there. It's horrible." Well, so far, I'm very pleasantly surprised. Now, I did mention that I watched some YouTube videos of other people who had stayed here more recently saying that they loved it, their family loved it. It was a lovely park, a lovely area. And since we've never been in this part of South Carolina or northern Georgia before, we thought we would try it out. So we're here for 3 weeks. And it is chilly here. It is mid-March, and it's too hot, starting to get too hot in Florida. So all the snowbirds are starting to make their way north in late March and early April. But you can't go too far north because it is still very late winter, early spring weather once you get very much above Florida. And then the second most important thing to me is internet signal. And I was afraid that since this park is very rural and kind of in the mountains that we were not going to have good internet here. Well, AT&T is screaming here. I've got 100 down and 8 up, which is unheard of. All the time we were in Florida, we were barely getting by on the internet signals down there because it's so congested down there. It's not necessarily that the signal was bad, but there's so many people there in the winter that it was always congested and very difficult to use. So I am super excited to have good internet for the next 3 weeks. Ella. When we took the rig off of the truck, it slid quite a bit downhill. So we've hooked it back up to the truck, and we're putting some more boards under here so that the jacks don't have to extend quite so much.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't so much that it slid. It just shifted. That wasn't as big a deal. It's that because the truck is also uphill, you have to lift this so high to get it off the truck. That makes these super overextended. And as you may recall from earlier videos, ours are no longer this nice trapezoid. They're a little bit more like this. So when this one especially gets extended, it's more straight up and down or in a little bit. So we're gonna just give this less need to do that I'm gonna put one more block under there.
Oh, you have one more block?
Yeah, just take it from the other side.
All right.
But the other jack is not an issue. There we go. So now that doesn't have to extend as far.
Okay, well, a little bit more work on leveling this than I initially thought because this site slopes so far up in the front. The front of our RV is almost on the ground, so we're just gonna have to. And it timed out; it wouldn't finish the auto level, so we'll just manually put down the back jack so we can raise the back of the RV a little bit. So since we can't lower the front of the RV anymore, and we think that'll be all right. All right, we got zeros all around finally.
Yeah, we just did it manually.
0 front to back, 0 side to side. The tires are still touching. They're not off the ground, which is good. Even though these jacks are really extended, it's fine.
Yeah, because the tires hold so much of the weight anyways. Or
All
at
right.
least support it.
Let's finish that up. All right, now that we're all set up here, I can see that the front door and stairs of this are a little treacherous. I don't know if you can tell on here, but the angle of these mats is very sloped and it's a little slippery. And then we've got this big root right at the foot of the stairs, which makes it a little hard to walk here. And you can see how uneven this table is because the land is just like this. So that'll take a bit of getting used to, and I'm gonna have to be careful here. But that's okay. So after being here for a couple of weeks, I wanted to give you some thoughts on this campground, Carolina Landing 1000 Trails. Well, as we saw at the beginning, this was a very difficult site to level. And leveling is just part of RV life. And if you're full-time and you're traveling to many campgrounds, you know that some sites are not perfect and you just gotta level. Sometimes they're on dirt or rocky ground or they're short or whatever. But this was a particularly challenging site, and I've seen lots of rigs this week having to go up steep inclines and having kind of wonky jack, levelers and stuff. So it is a little bit of a challenge to park here. But the hills here have been super fun for a group of kids that we've enjoyed watching this week. Now, if you haven't heard of full-time families, these are families that are part of a group, and I think you can join in membership online or something, and they put out little flags at their campsite that say full-time families. I always love to see those at campgrounds, and it's so great to watch the kids being homeschooled and road schooled all over the country, and especially special to watch them make friends with other kids in the campground that they didn't know before. So this week, the kids here at Carolina Landing have banded together and taken advantage of these hills. We have watched them roll their skateboards and bikes down this hill in front of our rig for hours on end, just screaming and laughing and having a great time. So it's been a real joy to watch them this week. So if you're at a campground, watch out for that little full-time families flag, see if you can spot any. But for us older folks, the hills can be challenging. we love to walk around campgrounds, and we have not quite enjoyed walking around here as much because the hills are difficult to get up to, and it seems we have this joke that no matter which way we go out of our rig, we have to go uphill. So it's just this very steep and windy, and even to get to the laundry room or to the office or anything up there, we have to climb a steep hill. So I have not enjoyed walking here as much as I usually do, but we've found other places to walk. Speaking of going out to places, there are 3 great cities within an hour of Carolina Landing that we have enjoyed exploring. Next week, we will show you Helen, Georgia, which is a gorgeous little touristy town, kind of German themed. And south of here is a city called Athens, Georgia, which has several free things to do. I'm going to explore that while Jason's out of town on a trip. I'm looking forward to that. And then I also have explored Greenville, South Carolina, which is an hour to the east. I'm not going to do a video on that, but I did put up some pictures on social media of my day there, and it was a gorgeous city to walk around. They've done a great job revitalizing the downtown, making lovely parks. So if you are not following us on Facebook or Instagram, check us out there and give us a follow, and you can see some extra things that we get up to that are not in the videos. But overall, as a Thousand Trails option, we would definitely recommend Carolina Landing. It's a beautiful setting. The nature here is great. It's very quiet and peaceful. And like I said, plenty of things to do around here. And we have been very fascinated to see this week how the customer service has been here, because some of the complaints online, in addition to it being hard to park in a tight park, some past complaints have been about the customer service here, that the employees were not very helpful, they were kind of rude, whatever. You know, you never know when you're reading online reviews if someone was just having a bad day or what. But we've been a little tuned in here to see how it goes. Well, I noticed the other day when I went to the office to pick up a package, which they allow free delivery of packages here, which is also very nice. There's a little award on their desk that says something like Most Improved Customer Service for 2020 to 2021. And I zoned in on that, and I thought, you know what, good job. Good for you, Carolina Landing. You've taken those reviews into account, and you've been working on it, and we have had no problems with anybody here this week. They've been super helpful, super friendly. So yeah, highly recommend it. And if you're coming through Western South Carolina, I hope you'll check it out. So thanks for watching and coming along with us. Next week, I'm going to go exploring in Georgia, so I hope you come back for that. Until then, have a great week. Bye, guys.